Evening, everyone, and welcome. We are Random Encounter Productions. I'm Cody Stone. With me tonight, we have
Matthew, and I'm playing Clever Stitch, the Tabaxi Arcane Archer.
Nice.
Fable, the Genasi Phoenix Soul Sorcerer.
I'm playing Olaroon, the Asamar Hexblade Warlock Paladin.
Hi, I'm Megan, and I'm playing Sarai Landir, the Eladrin Glamour Bard.
Hello all, my name is El Starsong, and sorry, yeah, I just can't keep that up for too long. Name's Talroth, I'll be playing Wood Elf Rogue.
Welcome, everybody. So, I'm going to be confused for the rest of the week because it's Tuesday, and we're playing Disasters. That's not how that normally happens.
Wait, today's Tuesday?
Today is Tuesday. Time is meaningless. So, yes. This is normally our Monday night game. It is almost always on Monday nights. Tonight we are on Tuesday because yesterday allergies attempted to kill me, and I could not see straight. So it is a little difficult to run a game when staring at the screen stabs you in the brain hole. But we are happy to be here. It's the end of June. We're about to get into July. July is going to bring a whole bunch of awesome stuff that we are working on. So I'm going to talk for just a minute about about Project Eberron coming up. But before we get into that, we do want to say thank you to our sponsors over at Norse Foundry. They are our wonderful sponsors for this campaign. You can follow the links in the chat. I think somebody can do that one. I don't know what that command is.
Exclamation point, Norse Foundry.
Norse Foundry. Yeah, he's on it. You're working on it. Nicely done. Yes, allergies do suck. I normally don't see the chat, but Caitlin tends to run it, and I'm going to try to help out today, but I'll get distracted and won't pay attention to it. It'll happen. Norse Foundry is our friends. You can follow the link. You get 15% off your order over there. They do really wonderful gemstone dice as well as precision cut aluminum, metal. I think tungsten is like their most baller of metal dice, as Schmidt might say. And so check them out. They really help out the channel. It's been a blast. Speaking of them, in July we will do another giveaway of Norse Foundry merch. We've been giving away dice sets and dice trays and all sorts of fun stuff.
I believe we've got coins coming up.
Coins.
Really fucking cool coins.
Yeah, it's the Elven coins, the Sun and Moon coins. Like, they're really gorgeous stuff. So nice. I'm super excited to be doing that. Do we have any other announcements? Oh, next week on Tuesday night. Cole, you do it. Go for it.
Okay, so you know how like last week we were like, hey, we're gonna do Storm King's Thunder on Tuesday, and it's gonna be awesome, and we have a guest person. Well, what ended up happening is right before that, half of our cast came down with the bad feelings, so they were not able to play, and we had to push it back 2 weeks. But next week, Storm King's Thunder shall return, and our special guest, you may have seen him if you watched the WWE edition of D&D's live stream over the weekend. It is WWE NXT superstar Dio Madden will be playing with us for Storm King's Thunder next Tuesday, and it's going to be awesome. We're going to have so much fun, so make sure you smash that subscribe and like button so that you get all of the info when we go live.
Yeah. We are super excited about that. Looking forward to getting to play with
There's
him.
a little heart, so you can be notified and emailed when we go live.
Ooh.
Yes.
Very cool. Also today, today's the first full day. It is available, but book 4 of the Mapweaver Chronicles is out. I believe it is number 1 best new best new fantasy title right now, right?
It's a #1 new release and hit #1 bestseller in its category already today.
Oh, yay.
I'm emotional about it. I'm really, really emotional about it.
You should be. It's a great achievement. You did good.
Thanks. Thank you.
It's a great validation. You guys, for the past month, she's been really humping to get the rest of the book done and out, and made the deadline. She wasn't sure she was going to.
By 3 hours.
By 3 hours, wasn't sure she was going to.
That is 3 hours more than none. So you made it.
Wise, you're a wise man.
Exactly. So we are all super proud of her. It's been a wonderful day. Great job. What? Oh. Sorry. Verizon was like, I'm gonna text you something, but I'm gonna vaguely word it, so you have to read it. And I was like, well, don't do that. I don't want that. Megan's back. She's no longer frozen. But thank you for looking out.
And my computer is trying to wake up.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll get there.
So
guys, we here at the channel are, if you guys have found us on TikTok, thank you for being here. We're opening up a new Discord server starting tomorrow. Hopefully, fingers crossed. We are calling it Project Eberron. And it is going to be in 2 parts. One part is going to be a classic D&D West Marches style campaign, so very episodic, some character advancement, but it's going to be a rotating cast. Everybody has the chance to play. We will do dark games probably on the weekend, and if people
for those of you who don't know what that means that they'll be streamed just for us behind the scenes. They'll still be shows, there'll be games, but they will not be public. I wouldn't have known what that meant unless I'd seen wrestling matches with you.
Sorry. So dark means we're not going to broadcast them, right? We're going to do a game like this. It's going to be just for us on the channel, on the server, and hang out. But if we have some players that are, have a great camera and a great character, and we can invite you onto the channel, we may be doing some broadcasted games on Wednesdays.
That are exclusively for the Eberron thing. This is not.
Yes. I'm talking Project Eberron.
Yes.
So it's going to be a chance for us to make more friends and build our community with TikTok and everything like that. The other thing that we are doing with it is making a mega game. So we're inviting people that can't stream, don't have the time to really put in another D&D game into their life, but they really want to hang out and participate. We're inviting them to participate as heads of state on the 13 plus nations of Corvair or the Dragon-marked houses. And it's going to be a very political game that we're hoping will influence the adventures that we send our adventurers on. And it's just Project Eberron is a looser game. It's a game that we're going to try to use to make friends with other streams and invite people to come and hang out with us and meet you guys and do all those fun things. So if you're on our normal Discord server, if you're a patron, if you're a subscriber, we are going to give you guys invites over there as well, so you guys can participate. So this is not it's all meant to enhance the channel, not to take away from anything.
And not to replace anything that's already happening.
Right. No.
It would be to fill voids left by other shows ending, or us waiting to go live, or once we do go live in person again, filling a night we don't usually have a show, or that we have not found that most of our cast continues to be regularly available. Like, as much as we love Star Chasers, that's not a thing that happens on Wednesdays right now because the tech just didn't work out. So that is not going to be replacing Disasters or any of your favorite shows. So do not worry about that. It's just a new way to participate with other D&D friends, because there's a lot of people who want games out there and don't get a chance to play, which was part of the reasoning behind bringing in other people is we want D&D to be available to people who maybe don't have a dungeon master of their own, or are always a dungeon master and never get to play, or any of those things. So, yeah.
Fantastic. Okay. I think that's it. Let's D some D, shall we? Okay. Our adventure takes place in the continent of Lickdracht. It is a continent ruled by myths, by figures of fate and destiny. It is a continent far from Rotom, far from the Republic of the Black Gem. The Republic of the Black Gem has set up the Magnus Exploratorium, a school of anthropology and archaeology that sends out expeditions of exploration to learn all they can about this bold new world. Our heroes are adventurers employed by the Magnus Exploratorium, and recently they have begun, coming close to the end of, a investigation into figures that have teamed up with a errant group of adventurers, as well as a horde of lizard folk, in an effort to destroy Magnus caravans and stifle the expeditions of kids. They've stumbled upon an in-depth smuggling operation to the nearby town of Nicobaras? I don't know. Varia? I don't know. I change it. It changes. It happens. And they returned. They did battle with some of those adventurers. 2 of them were felled in the combat, a L Star Song and Euphira were both dropped. However, there was a orc with a massive bow that
I need it.
that doubled as a melee weapon, and he escaped. So this is where we are.
Oh no, a new quest!
This is where we are picking up. You guys, to wrap up last week, you guys searched through the containers that were there. It seemed to primarily be Lickdrachtian deities. That this was the final shipment set to go to Nicobaria. And you guys, with the help of... That's right, I have to bring this up. I have to have my notes.
Freya? Freya was one of them.
Freya was the Freya's the monk. And...
Okay.
Yep.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Luna Savalletta.
She's the ranger teacher.
She is the ranger teacher, that's right.
There's a better word than that, ranger teacher.
Yeah. Where did that go? What is it? No, not Lickdracht. There it is. Got it. Found it. Found the document I wanted. I'm still in the shot. Great. Okay. Luna Zavaleta. With their help, they alert Alvaro, and he and some of the guards come down to investigate the area. You guys are given the opportunity to rest, and in the morning, later in the morning, you guys are getting ready to regroup. Is there anything you guys would like to do, either before you go to bed or when you get up? Anything along those lines? Yes, Olaroon.
Since Olaroon is not a quote-unquote marked person, he's going to go to Quick's, and he is going to drink a lot.
Okay. Sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Make how much? Are we talking a lot?
A lot.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Like
He's also like 20, so...
he's 18.
Stamina. I would like to imagine also that Fable just missed the deadline. She was so focused on learning a new spell that she's still in Sarai's room at the inn, and she just like walked out one day like, "Oh, I'm ready. Ready, everybody,
Ready to go.
go." Oh shit! But look what I learned in Fireball. Like, miraculously.
Fireball in my room.
I'll pay for the Drake cleaning. What? Like, never mind. No, that's an out of character thing. Never mind.
Sorry, what? That's not my room.
So that's a 17.
So he's
on
used
the
to it.
Con save.
Okay. So yeah, you do you succeed well enough that you're able to drink without being hurt, poisoned in the morning. Congratulations.
Still have a hangover though, that's for sure.
Yeah. So Olaroon is drinking. What else are people up to?
Is the ranger teacher with us still?
She would have been with you for at least part of that evening. Yeah. So I believe what we said was last week, Clever Stitch, after returning from the woods, the artifacts that you guys had gathered from that the lizard folk were supposed to take, you and Fable and Thozen and Treasure. No, Treasure went with you. Thozen. The three of you guys were taking that stuff to the school, to Alvaro, and to let him know what was going on, and so you missed what happened in the sewers, but you could have met up with her before going to bed.
Not necessarily just her, but I want to be sparring with people, and trying out some new things that I had thought of and how to make those things work in a combat situation.
Okay. Yes.
That's it.
Yeah, absolutely. Fable, is there anything specific you were wanting to do?
Just excited that they're back. So I'm gonna go find all of them and ask about their stories. Because she's missed them. I watched all the rooms really good. There's a little bit of burning damage and a couple of permanently iced over tabletops, but I'm sure that we can take care of that later.
Watched the rooms really good.
I did. I watched them so good. All damage was self-inflicted. Nobody broke in. So
Talroth,
it's like when you get home and a dog is running around in circles and they've torn up the floor, but no intruders got in. That's for damn sure.
Talroth, did you have anything you wanted to do before the next day?
Mostly just finding somewhere where I can get the blood taken out of Starsong's clothes and just kind of mend it a little bit, so I could just have a spare outfit.
Yeah, there's some tailors in town that can take care of that for you. It'll be you can look up the cost of fine clothing. It'll be a quarter of the price of that to get them cleaned and mended and looking new.
Alright, so like 4 gold then.
Yeah,
Okay.
perfect. Sarai, anything specific from you?
No. When we got back, she would have gone to the forge. And when she comes out in the morning, she's in spring.
Okay.
I love it so much.
The lovely, lovely spring.
Also, what hella fine eyeshadow tonight, ma'am.
Thank you, Trixie Mattel. Drag Queen knows what she's doing.
Love her.
Oh, good.
We stand Trixie Mattel.
Yes.
We stand a queen in this house. All right.
Because some of you are potentially in danger being in the town, where would you guys like to meet? Are you going to attempt to meet up at Quick's? Are you going to go back to the soup place that you guys went 2 weeks ago? Are you going to meet up outside of town at the school? Where do you guys meet?
I would think we meet outside of town.
Okay.
Is that okay with everybody else?
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Any of you that are donning disguises, if you would make me disguise checks, Talroth, please.
Yeah.
So
what
dis-
if Go ahead.
so disguise check would be performance.
Are you proficient in the disguise toolkit?
Sirach was doing it for us.
So, just a charisma check.
Just straight charisma.
Straight charisma.
I'd like to think that Talroth and Sarai are getting each other ready, like a really weird recital.
Well, one of you is in the forge, one of you is out of town. So you guys are you're doing the montage, but you're in two different places. So.
So that's a
Is it
total
like
of 13.
Tonight from West Side Story, where like
No, because we don't do that show here.
I'm sorry. 13 for both of you?
21.
Okay. 13 for Talroth? Okay. Talroth, you're getting into it. Even though charisma is not your strong suit, you're the idea of getting to dress up like Star Song, you can pick up your clothes tomorrow. They have a back order. But you're like, I could do this. And so you're getting invested in it. Nicely done. Sarai, it's just like putting on a character for you. So you are you have a good setup.
And because of level up, she's starting to get some of her "I'm so pretty, it's magical" skills.
There you go.
So
Love that.
she's a little bit shinier now.
Mm.
And she's
She's got
genuinely
highlighter. She's got highlighter on, but that shit's everywhere.
Yeah, it's just disco ball.
We stand Trixie Mattel.
I know what I'm about.
So you guys have gathered up outside of the town of Dorian's Dawn. Nearby one of the small rivers that flushes clean water into the aquifers and cisterns below the town. What would you guys like to do?
So, what's the plan?
I hear we're going hunting for that jackass who has a bow you like. Because I'm fine with that. I have new tricks to show off. I look like I'm honking boobs. I am not. I'm mimicking casting fireball, but now it's just honka honka.
I mean, is that the next thing in the pipeline? Is go and get that orc, or do we need to go to somebody higher up?
I mean, honestly, it'd be smarter to get rid of all of them. But the
So there's
orcs
nothing
you-
left over of the... I say it like tying up loose ends, really.
Well, by that account, there's 3 loose ends, and one of them got away, probably to warn the other 2.
Well, we
And-
could absolutely do that then, and then I think 2 birds, 1 bow, you know.
Yeah, but it's the other 2 that I'm a little more concerned about, because they're the 2 that decided to make sure that we didn't come back to town all right.
Yeah.
Well, let's
that's
go fuck with them.
the one that murdered people in front of you.
I mean, one could argue that we've all murdered people, but yeah, the one that melted them into the river, that would be
Yeah.
awful.
Yeah, that one. All right.
Olorine, are you okay?
What? Yeah, I'll be fine. I'll be fine.
Aww. Aww. She'll touch him. Lesser restoration. Aww.
Aw.
He's like, no, it's fine. Well,
She will forcibly touch him.
Nah.
Well, let's phrase that differently. Let's not forcibly be touching people here, okay? This is a family
Sorry.
game. That's a lie.
Sorry.
He's like, okay.
The lesser restoration does help.
Yeah. And he's like, okay. Yeah, I'm a little better now. So, do we know for sure that the 5 of them, Starsong, the crazy raggedy bitch with the axe, and the other 3, those are the only people that have been involved in this shipment scam thing?
We don't know.
I apologize because I don't, as a player, I don't remember this. What was the tie between this dude and the lizardman? Or have we not discovered that yet?
So what you guys have discovered, to review, is you know that the religious artifacts from Lickdrocht are being moved by these adventurers along the river system to Nikfaria. You also followed the other members of this group in their delivery of Rotom religious artifacts. Not artifacts. Artifacts is overselling all of this stuff. They are not magical
Like
in D&D.
trinkets.
Yeah, trinkets.
I was gonna say religious trinkets. Yeah.
The delivery of religious trinkets from the Rotom Quintantheon to the lizard folk. That seems to be their primary form of exchange and engagement. You guys have also surmised that whoever is employing this adventuring party is also the ones feeding information to the lizard folk to conduct these raids.
Gotcha.
Find their employer more than anything.
You guys
Who do you work for?
You guys had surmised or put together that when you're talking about religious artifacts, trinkets, religion in general, there
were 2 people, right?
Yeah, there would be 2 teachers, and you do suspect teachers because of their access to the ledger system.
Ledgers.
That's right. Either Rosetta Fike, who is the head of the Antiquities and Necromancy School.
And necromancy.
Yeah,
My
states of
girl.
States of transitive existence, as she put it.
Yep.
What? I missed that. Oh no, I love her so much. She's gonna be a big bad, and I can feel it.
Or Professor Harold Veit, or Volt, excuse me.
Was it Volt?
What do you have written down?
I think
Harold
it was
Hill?
probably Volt, but I think my iPad auto-corrected it to Vulcan because I had Harold Vulcan, and I was like, that feels...
This is
feels
Harry
wrong.
Spock.
I actually think it was Volton.
Vulcan, okay.
Yeah.
That would make more sense than Vulcan. I was like, he's not Spock. I don't...
Yeah.
What?
So those are the 2 people that he teaches religion. He is the head of the religious studies, specifically out of the anthropology college. So he is
Anthropology.
sure, if you insist.
I do insist.
So those are the 2. Those are the 2 suspects you guys have, as far as who is in charge. Talroth and Sir Bride, because you guys were there, make me a history check.
That is a 14 for me.
Nice.
13.
Okay. You guys remember it is. Hold on. I'm gonna do math because I haven't been keeping up on the calendar. I apologize. I believe it's the 19th, 18th or 19th of Apex.
Mm-hmm.
And this group was set to do their final smuggle run out of Dorian's Dawn, I believe on the 20th or the 21st. That may be pertinent information in deciding what you guys want to do next.
I'll turn to the party. So I know I don't have like a lot of experience with, like detecting and whatnot. But my parents have told me about some kinds of things in these natures, and usually what ends up happening is the person that looks decidedly less evil than the other person. We've narrowed it down to like 2 people, right? So I'm just saying there's a lot of dealings in religious artifacts, and this guy is really like he's
I entirely think it's that man. I hate him.
I
hate him. He's obnoxious. He would not shut up about the Cat Lord.
And not to mention,
I think he's evil.
And not to mention, when we were talking to that cute little spooky halfling lady, she seemed to be missing part of her memory as well.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Is she your type, Talroth?
Don't judge.
Look,
I have a feeling she could
everyone has a
make
type.
herself anyone's type if she wanted to. She could just transitive our lichens, if you like.
I think. Right. Go ahead, Stitch.
No, I was just saying that if they're leaving in if their final shipment is in 3 days, then
Let's call it 2. Let's say you're on the 19th, and they're
Perfect.
they're leaving probably first minute. They would be leaving first minute on the 21st. However,
Gotcha.
and I will point it out again, you guys are now in control of what they were going to try to smuggle out.
Yeah.
So,
if we want to, we could try and track them down and just stop them pre-shipment, or we could set up some sort of trap.
There's no reason to track them down. We have what they need. If we tell both professors where we're going to be, maybe we give each of them different times, and then we'll find out who the leak is.
This is true.
That's a good idea.
Oh shit!
We don't have to
Yes.
split the party, as it were. We don't have to split
Alright.
shipments and then babysit at different locations. We can figure out which one is the bastard, but they're going to come to us if we know it's one of these 2 professors that's in cahoots, as it was.
All right.
The thing is, we also know that they had this I don't know what the fancy word is, but they like boats. So if we know they're going to be taking these things out by boat, we know one possible place where they would take them out from. Do we know if that's the only spot or if they have others?
But they have nothing to take.
She is correct, but Talroth, if you would like to make an investigation check, I'll give you advantage because you have been mapping those sewers and all of their entrances and exits.
I hated the way you said, yeah, you have.
No,
He's been
like,
mapping all them sewers.
I believe it.
something that I missed out on? My God.
That is a 19 investigation.
Okay. On a 19, there are... There is, I'm going to say 2 potential exits, one of which is the one you guys took. for it. It's pretty easy to find the river outlets that are deep enough to sustain the boats that are that heavy, right? You know that they it has to be a certain depth to carry that stuff. So there are really two, and the one that they've been using seems to be the one that is more direct in the passage. But as Saride said, they have nothing to ship right now because you guys are in control.
Because we have it.
I think it's important, though, that when we send the letter, it's vague enough that only someone who knows exactly what these items are will even show up.
Are we sending a letter? Are we not going to go speak to them in person?
I think part of the other question is, how do they normally receive them, say, notices or comunicados of what's going on?
Probably, if I had to guess, just because of their capabilities, probably Starsong in in some sort of disguise. A magical disguise, since he can make people look different than they are.
So assuming that's what's been going on, because that actually does make quite a bit of sense. Now, if they are relying on Starsong coming up and talking to them and working that magic memory no mo thing he does, if they don't get any word from him, are they just going to continue on with the plan for the shipment?
Do you think they don't have word already that he's been felled?
I mean, they probably do as of 4 hours ago, if I had to guess.
At least, I mean, I know if any of us didn't come back from something, we'd assume that we'd fallen. We're not. If we were doing something like this, we'd have a plan in action. I mean,
also
theoretically.
the survivor.
Yeah.
I think the way to do this, if we go and tell them that we have the pieces and we are going to have them at a certain location until Alvaro can clear them to travel back.
This is true, although because the teachers probably don't know our level of involvement, right? At least not the ones that weren't with you all whenever you talked to the evil acid man.
Otto, no, but if this works, we'd have them.
Yeah,
and if it doesn't
so
work, we're dead.
That's true. But if say Fable and Olaroon and I went, because the two of you are known by Otto, right? I mean, if the three of us went to both of them and were like, "Hey, just so that you know, we recovered some things. Meet at and it'll be here," so that it's the three of us, so that maybe it seems unrelated. Then we could do it that way.
That
Just
works.
to make sure
if there's
that
we have, I don't know, a caravan scheduled to return them back
exactly
at A and B times.
Yeah, I like it. All right, let's do that then. Where do we want the meetup point to be? The drop-off.
Some place out of town.
Yes.
So here.
Why not tell them the other river if the first one got compromised?
Because are we
I'd assume somewhere that we're able to.
Because are we posing this as if we're in on the shipment, or are we posing this as if we happened to recover it unrelated?
If we were in on the shipment, then they could just let us do what we're doing and nothing would be changed, right? In theory, it would be going to who it's supposed to go to.
Exactly.
But if we have this so that it's being confiscated by the government or or we have it and we're waiting for representatives from the school.
I like it. I like it.
Yep.
Is what?
I was wondering if there was some reason why we weren't able to why we weren't able to just straight up blackmail them. And hey, we have your thing. Come get them. Ransom noted.
Because we don't know which one.
Which one it is.
Just making sure. Just double checking. Because I worry about us failing some kind of deception or whatever. And because I've met us. And especially if Saride is known by that, and she's not on the list of people who are going, and she's the one who can decept well. That was what concerned me.
We're not I'm not too bad at it, but we're also not particularly lying.
That's fair.
We're telling them that we recovered some religious trinkets, and they should be at X place at X time, and we're awaiting school higher-ups. That's not necessarily
We're going to tell the truth, the partial truth, and bits of convenient parts of the truth.
Yep.
The trick to lying is just don't add anything.
Yep.
It's fair.
It's not a story, babe. It's not. You're not expounding, and you're not drawing them in. Give them base notes, right? Like an outline.
You and I lie very differently. In the circus, it was sort of a game of, all right, well, if you tell an interesting enough lie, even if it's the most outrageous, outlandish thing in the world, you get off without punishment because you're proving that you're entertaining. So I should maybe talk less.
See, that could work depending on the size of the lie, what the consequences for being caught. And this one is murder, so... Yep. Maybe not this.
I'm just saying, usually when you introduce rampaging manticore into the equation, people don't ask a lot of questions. They just sort of go, right, I'm gonna go.
And leave that rampaging manticore alone. But,
damn it.
The three of you, watching a couple of crates in the middle of the night.
Sounds good to me.
That's doable.
Yep. All right.
All right.
What time do we want to say that it's tomorrow at 10 a.m. and noon? Give it enough time.
10 a.m. and 4.
All right. 10 a.m. and 4.
That's smart, yes.
If they want to be.
Got it.
I mean, if we're talking about getting a shipment out, I'd say earlier and later, so probably maybe closer to dawn and dusk.
That works.
All right. Sounds good.
Sunrise and sunset?
Yep.
We're just gonna fiddler it.
It, thank you. And Fable will be singing that as she just...
If she does, then Olorun can accompany.
Yes! Is this the little crate I carried?
I have to go. My mom says that it's bedtime. I gotta leave.
I miss you so much. Please don't leave me.
If I were a rich man. I'm
kidding.
You can't commit to the bit that hard. Also, damn, Cole. Shit.
Sounds like he can sing or something.
It's like he knows what he's doing.
So.
All right, then let's head on into town. We'll meet up with you and have you guys be stationed kind of close by to where the shipment is supposed to be once we're back.
Yes.
All right.
So Saride and Talroth are headed to that cistern where those religious trinkets are currently being kept. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yep. We're gonna go camp out in the sewer together. Elf style.
Sexy. Love it.
All right.
We like to send our elves into the sewers here.
Elves and Lickdracht have it rough,
Feels
guys.
weird.
Clever Stitch, you and Fable and Olorun, where are you guys headed to first?
How long do you think it will take you guys to go to someone?
How long do we think it will take? Yeah?
Couple of hours.
Yeah.
2?
Yeah.
Never mind. Okay. I was gonna try to like inspire you, but
More than 10 minutes, I will tell you that.
Probably, yeah.
The odds of the woods are just on the outside of the necromancy school.
I would like to petition Wizards of the Coast to invent either an item or a feat that allows for delayed inspiration. Like a music box that like has Sarai singing or something. You just, I feel inspired. Like I listen to my favorite song and I get pumped. Like I feel like that should be a thing that we can do on a delay.
Okay.
So
I'd say imbue it into a coin and then
to-
just flip it when you need it.
Yeah, I like that.
Is it hype music?
Yes, I get
The hype
entrance music.
inspiration?
Let's go to Professor Harold to get the worst one done first, because we want to be near this man for as little time as possible.
okay.
Also, you can't say Professor Harold without me finishing it with Hill. Like, that was mean.
You guys head to the College of Anthropology. You look around, the students are attempting to have normal classes. They've been in lockdown for almost 3 weeks now. They're starting to get a little stir crazy.
Amateurs.
I know, amateurs.
Fucking amateurs.
So he's mostly teaching like undergraduate level classes because the upperclassmen were scheduled to be out on expeditions, as it were. So it is in the morning. You guys are able to speak with the attendant at the front of the college. Leads you to one of the lecture halls. You guys are catching the end, kind of a lecture. It is mostly discussing the historical development of Rotom theology and deities and sort of their morphing and developing nature throughout the ages. And it's primarily looking at his lecture from looking at the timeline on the board. He's discussing the transition from the Albrechtian Republic to the Empire, and that transitional period and how it impacted religion and the deities as well. There's a wide variety of names listed on them and sort of changes and differences. Although I suspect only Olaroon would be terribly familiar with them. It means very little to Clever Stitch and the Cat Lord and fables from out of town. So, the class wraps up. The students are gathering their things and are making their way out. What would you guys like to do?
Can I walk up to the professor and be like, "Excuse me, sir, if you have a moment, I actually have a anthropological question to pose to you. I'm just doing some independent research, and I was wondering about your opinion on things."
Right, of course, yes. What was the question that you had, good lad?
Well, yes, I was reading some anthropological journals of the man known as Richard.
I am so sorry. You strike me as such a distinct figure. Do you by chance have some sort of celestial bloodline within you?
Well, yes, I do.
That is fascinating. Do you happen to know to which heavenly body you trace your lineage to?
I do not.
You don't?
This moment
Oh, that's so
in time.
unfortunate. You know, I have been putting together a sort of lengthy survey and interpretive sort of things because there are. Pardon. I didn't mean to change the subject, but we'll get to your thing in just a moment. This is really actually very fascinating, if I do say so. There are so many infernal bloodlines, and they all have a very distinct sort of markers in where they hail their blood from. It does impact sort of their capabilities and stylings and things of the like. And I have been working on a personal project to do a similar sort of thing for those of celestial blood. Now, if you happen to be interested in partaking in such a study, I would love to have you as a part of it. And in fact, why don't you all follow? I'm just headed to my office, actually. But please tell me about your thing, and we'll go get the survey while we do this. Come on.
Yes. Let's come on.
Matthew
come on,
is
guys.
so uncomfortable right now. Matthew has a lot of feelings, and I'd like to hear. I'd like to cut to his internal monologue, please. Can we cut to confession?
Go for it. Yeah, go ahead.
I hate him. I hate him.
It's the confession room, and love is blind.
That's all.
Yeah.
That's it. I simply hate this man.
And I was and as we're walking, I'm just like, well, so I've read the read the anthropologist Rashad Leake. I've read his
right.
his treatise on the effects of the applications of giant runes and their effect on the ordning as a whole.
Oh,
when it comes to giants. I was just
truly fascinating.
Yeah. And I was just wondering, like, how could something that is just an aspect of giant culture, how could that affect just the giant hierarchy that's been in place for so many centuries?
A very good question. Very good question. You know, well, giant culture itself is not one of my specific focuses. I do have a number of treatises that discuss it. There was an Anton Aaron that had written something specifically about giants that had left the Order of the Ordning and fallen in under Branos, and when they joined the Empire of the time. And there's actually a very fascinating tribe in the southern ends of the Arcadian Straits that had joined one of the Commonwealths nigh about 100 years ago or so. And their separation from the place of the ordning too. So ordning is not actually, it's more of a cultural thing, that it is like a hard and fast rule. But it does actually, it enforces it, by the way. And he goes on. You guys are sort of walking through the hallways.
I'm just trying to like keep his attention as much as possible, and just try and like.
You have it. You absolutely
Fable, who has
have it.
never met this man, I don't believe, or met him briefly, is just watching Stitch with like an uncomfortable. She knows what it looks like when someone wants to burst into flames. This is an. Okay.
Because Clever Stitch is the only person who has had the unfortunate circumstance to meet this man.
He remembers Clever Stitch. He when he greeted him, when he waved, he gave him the
This is the one who asked about the Cat Lord, right?
Yeah, he gave him the Cat Lord Beans salute. So the traditional may the Cat Lord be with you. So
Toe beans.
It's a little uncomfortable because he's got like a palm.
He doesn't have fucking toe beans.
Yeah, but he did it. He did it probably better than you.
This feels like cultural appropriation.
Probably better than me.
This feels like
I'm not like a fucking worshiper. I mean, I am, but
this feels like racial appropriation, and I'm not okay with it.
Actually, Clever Stitch, make me a history check, real quick.
Ooh. That one I'm not trained in. Lying, I am.
I'll take history or religion. It's probably the same either way.
Nope, same thing. Not trained in either one of them. Oh, I rolled an 18 though, so dirty 20.
Nice, nicely done. So the Cat Lord is worshipped in like you're from Lickdracht. You are not. You're not from Rotom. just to make sure I'm
Yes, that is absolutely
I got it
correct.
correct. Right. So Cat Lord is definitely the deity. But he's almost more like a patron saint, right?
Yes.
So pray to, sure, asked for help, but not believed to be the origin and be all end all, right? It is a different view on religion. It is what we might consider more of like a late Hellenic period where they're like, these are our gods. We kind of believe in them. We also kind of think they suck. So, right, like even if it's not the Cat Lord sucks, but so like it is not a monotheistic like
All
Christianity
praise the Cat Lord.
like no, this is our God, right? It is very much more of a like separate sort of thing, almost more traditional, almost more maybe like Santa Claus or very saint-like, you know.
Yes.
And so you don't know anyone that like even there was probably an elder, a teacher that knew the Cat Lord stuff, but this guy's taking it on a different level.
It is entirely too serious. This man is taking the Cat Lord too serious. The Cat Lord does not like that. I don't like that.
Yeah.
I hate this man, and I hope that he's evil so that I can kill him later.
Yeah.
Is it like that awkward like guy in college who decides to like the white guy who decides to major in like Pan-African studies?
Kind
like,
of. It is.
And because of that, now he thinks he knows everything about like black culture.
Well, so to be clear, he doesn't. He's very inquisitive. He doesn't think he knows everything, and
he doesn't know he's coming across as weird and creepy and a little offensive.
But he, Cole, for a reference you would appreciate, he is being an irresponsible white person, teaching Harambe to, he is doing Kwanzaa, right? Like but he's on board. Go ahead. That's a Boondocks reference.
The African theater teacher I had, who was white, but she was married to an African artist, so it was okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. He is very knowledgeable about Rotom religions. He is very curious about other religions, and he seems to give them due and respect. But it is also, he speaks with a familiarity and fervor that is
uncomfortable.
Yeah, for sure.
It's unearned, kind of.
Perhaps that is a fair assessment. So you guys are getting near his office. He has been talking giants with you. He has been talking celestial bloodlines with you. Is there any particular information you would like to? Because he's speaking very quickly, and it kind of feels like if you were to ask him something religious specific, he would probably just cough out an answer to you. Is there anything you guys would like to attempt to get him to talk about before you get into your subject?
Is he talking like Music Man fast? Because that's what I'm imagining.
He's talking about as fast as I was, which,
pretty quick.
Pretty quick. I mean, there's trouble, my friends, right here in River City. So
is there for the things from Rotom, the religious trinkets from Rotom, was there any one religion that was more represented than others in this last thing that we confiscated?
The artifacts from Rotom were actually very even. They were suspiciously even.
Damn.
They seem to have been ordered almost in identical numbers and things. There were a few more trinkets for the Prime 5, and there were probably one additional trinket for like Dylion, because he sits at the top of the Pantheon, but nothing that spoke to a separate dedication. Yep, Saride.
Gotcha.
there was something that would have gotten mentioned when we grouped up that Star Songs said something, I think it was Operation Branos. I remember Branos. I think it was either Operation or Project Branos.
All right.
That might be a thing to use. I
Then
didn't say it earlier because I had low-key forgotten, so I apologize.
Sure. Can we just ask him about what he knows about Branos then, and see?
Oh,
See
absolutely.
what happens.
Yeah.
As soon as he mentions Branos, can I do an insight check to see if there's any
Sure. Yeah.
eye twitch?
Yeah. Make an insight check. Go for it.
I now have a positive to insight. It's just a 1, but it's there.
Listen.
That's a 17.
All right.
17. He a little bit. There's a little bit of a twitch. It could be him just like shifting gears in his thought process. So because you kind of snap him from whatever he's talking about. He's talking about giants and Rotom and Catlord and all of those things. And Branos is like, Branos. Oh, really? Branos. Okay. Well, and so there's definitely a like cut in his face and in his thoughts, and it does catch him for a moment, but then he does keep launching into Branos. Is there something in specific you're interested in for Branos? So what he primarily talks about is the interesting relationship between Branos as a god of creation and a god of destruction, and how he often sat in the Albrechtian Republic era. He sat in stark opposition to the far more I'm going to say less aggressive Helion. But he talks about the times that mountains and volcanoes have just like erupted to destroy cities, to be consumed in lakes of fire, but also that he built artifacts and famed weapons and things of a wide variety of legendary figures, and gifted them to heroes throughout the ages. So he finds Branos
Weapons, you say?
As much, yes, not just weapons, but armor and arms and shields and all sorts of fun things. Quite a craftsman that Branos was, but not originally. Originally, he was very much just sort of a lord of fire and death, and he sort of had to earn his title as the maker of makers for.
Are there any projects of Branos that are well known? And when I say Project Branos, projects of Branos, I'm again trying to pick up and see if there's like any.
Make an insight check.
Come on.
Projects of Branos.
Oof, that's a 3.
At that point, he's opening the door to his office, so his face is sort of away from you, and even as you try to look, you don't see much in it. But he opens up the door and he sort of mulls it about. He doesn't have really an answer to a Project of Branos, but as he opens the door and invites you guys in, he has an office that is right across the hall from Alon McLaren's.
From Alon. Yep.
All the offices are relatively small, but he is like a tenured professor, so he's got a decent sized office. He doesn't have to share it. His walls are adorned with all sorts of religious idols and icons and all sorts of things like that. And you guys are in his office now. So I've got the paper around here somewhere. Let me just gather it up here. And he pulls out sort of this. It's like a 5-page like survey that he we're gonna make it a scroll. That's more time period appropriate. Time period. My fantasy world. He gives you a scroll Olaroon. And as you kind of look it over, yeah, looks normal. It's got a bunch of questions on it.
As I'm looking it over, I'll kind of like be like, interesting, and like slowly maneuver my way so that I'm standing in front of the door.
Mm-hmm. That's fine. He's behind his desk. You guys, somebody almost has to stand and block the door for all three of you to fit in there. So he doesn't seem to register that as an issue. Was there something else that I could help you all with?
Well, maybe. So we had recently, we were trying to figure out who to come to about something, and I seemed to remember our run-in last time, and how much you knew about religions.
Ah, yes,
and
very much part of my life.
And exactly, and we happened to have found some lost religious artifacts.
Lost, you say?
And they were.
No, wait, hold on.
We're
Now,
going to.
Well, hold on. Was the religion lost, or the artifacts lost?
No, just the trinkets.
Oh, that's far less interesting. But I still love to help.
Well,
I want to help. Please.
Exactly. But they obviously have to be cleared by higher ups and everything, and so we're thinking that the caravan should be able to make its way back by we're hoping by dawn tomorrow.
Oh, all right.
I believe they were. Were we talking about the Rotom ones or the Lichdraktian ones?
These are Lichdraktian trinkets that are that originally were scheduled to leave Dorian's Dawn.
To go. Gotcha. They're Lichdraktian religious trinkets.
Oh.
There were quite a few of them.
Really?
As well, it seems. It was odd that they would be out of the city.
It is.
But yeah, we were hoping that the caravan should get there by dawn tomorrow. And
so then I should. When would you like to come by? I'd love to take a look at them. You would like for me to look at them after? Was it about 10 a.m. after breakfast on? Was it tomorrow? The day after? What day was it?
Let's see. So they should get to the area by about dawn tomorrow. Hopefully, some higher ups in the school can come by soon after that, and then as soon as it's been cleared, we can send a message up to you, and maybe tomorrow by, or it would probably be best if the day after, if on the 21st, we can come get you for you to assess them. Hopefully they would have been cleared by the school by then.
Yes, of course. I mean, you know.
Because I would assume if they're getting there at dawn tomorrow, that it would take them about a day to approve it. I'm trying to drive home this dawn tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's fucking hard as I
You're
can.
doing that. He's doing that thing from that episode of Archer where it's right at the stroke of 3. It is currently exactly the stroke of 3.
Yeah.
I have to go. Didn't you hear? It was the stroke of 3. That's driving home. That didn't you hear? It's at dawn. So dawn is very important to us. We're Dorian's dawn. You know what? Dawn tomorrow. We're
dawn.
meeting. We've
Tomorrow.
got shit going down.
Yes, the poison for Cusco.
Cusco.
Cusco's poison.
It was
That
Cusco. Poison.
But hopefully if it gets there by dawn tomorrow, as we're expecting, it should be approved by sometime early the next day, and we can come get you to assess them.
I look forward to it. That sounds amazing. Thank you so very much.
All right, of course.
Okay. As you're leaving, Olaroon, he does ask, Are I hope you'll fill that out and return it to me. Perhaps I can get it from you when we meet up to look at your trinkets or whatever.
Yes, of course. I am actually. I always feel like it's very important for a person to know where they're from.
Isn't it though? So front and back. Make sure front and back.
Yes, I will do that for you.
Thank you. All right.
If I don't have to kill you. What?
Like he's one of those people who, if we walked up to him and were like, hey, we need a favor, but I'll donate my body to you for science after I'm dead, he'd be like, great, what the fuck do you need? Let's go. Specifically Olaroon, or if he... Yeah, exact. Both of the professors we're about to deal with. Different reasons. Both of them also, completely different reasons. Because I have weird magic racial shit going on as well. I feel like mine isn't as culturally significant as Olaroon's, but magically significant. Whereas Olaroon's is like bloodlines, and it's just a weird. We are not the people to be dealing with these professors, my good sir. We are maybe the wrong pair to come on this quest. But we always have our bodies we can sell for science and favors.
So, you guys do travel out of anthropology. You head down to the archaeology and transient states of life and existence. You guys, it takes you, it's probably lunchtime, so it takes you until after lunch to be able to nail down Rosetta Fike, because if you've ever tried to talk to a teacher or head of a college, it's impossible. So
you gotta get on their schedule like 2 months in advance, and even then it's a 50-50.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, she has to have hours. She has to have office hours,
Right.
but they don't have to be like good ones.
And for some reason, they don't seem to be required to be in their office during those office hours.
Right.
So it's
I would-
anybody's guess if they'll be there or not.
I would just feel as also like she would be the type to have the most inconvenient office hours because she's got her own research to do. She doesn't have time
from 1
to be
to
like
2 a.m. on
Yes.
Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
In the cadaver lab, her office is with the dead bodies to make it inconvenient for anyone who's not on her immediate radar to be there.
I mean, how else do you keep students away who don't want to be bothered with?
Right.
How else do you cull the weak when you're a professor? You make it really hard.
Which can we say that's the vibe I get from her. Cull the weak.
Cull the weak. That is actually what her name means in Old Lictraktian.
So you guys do arrive at her office. You're actually waiting there for her. One of her assistants lets you in when she makes her way in. For anyone that has not met Rosetta, she is a halfling of pale, almost porcelain-like skin, long, dark hair. She has a tight black dress that she levitates sort of at a normal medium creature's height. So it sort of trails behind her as wisps and smoke. She's been compared to Morticia Adams or Psychic Tornado from One Punch Man. So you just sort of fusion dance those two together.
I love that so
you'll
much.
you'll get in the area. She does recognize Fable. Fable she has met before. I don't believe she has met Clever Stitch or Olaroon.
I was outside.
Fable will accept. Okay, but not him. Fable will introduce
yeah.
Olaroon very excitedly. Stitch has had enough. I feel like for one afternoon already. Like he's. That's fine. But Fable's excited, and she goes up to say hi to Key, knowing that he may or may not react. The bird.
He doesn't react. But
That fine. She still. Know what your insides look like? Kind of weird. Yeah.
Okay.
Hi. No, she just under the beak and just happy to. He's still here. Good. And this is Olaroon and another friend out.
Oh no,
But,
I meant last time we were here, I had been outside.
Oh, good.
I am
And
here
this is
now.
clever. Good. Okay,
Yes.
good. Thank God, because you don't want to leave Fable in charge of this interaction
You're
at
good.
all. This will go badly if you. I was prepared to just jump in and bullshit some stuff, but thank you for being. And
No,
this
I'm
is clever
here.
Stitch. Okay, thank God. Thank God. So this is Olorin and Stitch. Everyone, this is just one of the coolest women I've ever met. Also, Talroth says hello. Told to pass that on for you. In any case, we come bearing some interesting news. Stitch, you want to take it away?
Sure.
But before this, Olaroon goes to shake her hand, and through like clenched teeth is like, "It's very nice to meet you."
She doesn't shake your hand.
And he goes like,
She sort of glides past you guys, and before Clever Stitch can begin to speak, she, over her shoulder, almost in a whisper, but oddly audible to all of you, says, "I believe you all owe me some bodies."
Do we owe her some bodies? Oh,
She said,
we promised. Yes,
yeah, that we were to give them to her.
yes. Have we dealt with exactly those people yet?
We're in
not
process.
done. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I was. Yeah, just making sure that we didn't kill someone last week that should have been. Well, that
we
there's
are
still.
working on
I mean,
that.
even if they're dead, that's not an issue.
Yeah, we are still tying up those loose ends at this exact moment. Actually, they've not forgotten.
Good.
Just gotten a bit delayed.
Good. That's for the best. So she makes her way to the desk, and near the desk there are some rags. They look very clean. They have sort of a alcohol, sort of chemical smell. She'll take one, and she cleans her hands, and then she turns to Olaroon and offers hers. "Apologies, I was just in the lab."
and he kind of like, he shakes her hand
Mm-hmm.
and just lets the tiniest bit of like divine energy like flow through his palm just a little bit. And he's like, "Very nice to meet you."
She seems unfazed. Yeah, she seems
"A
unfazed.
necromancer, what do you want from me?"
Yeah, yeah.
It's just weird.
She is a necromancer.
Everyone's just being forced to deal with some discomfort today.
This is true.
Fable is unaware of any of it. She's like, everyone seems interesting. This is fun. I've missed this. I've been locked in a room for a week.
So, what information or what brings you to my office this hour?
So we were trying to figure out who to come to about this, but in our adventures, we had come across a large collection of Lictroctian religious trinkets, and we were planning on bringing them back into. We assume that they were part of the school. Because otherwise, why would they have been close by? But we were planning on bringing them back, and somebody
You
higher up was
suspect
going to
these
have.
were lost from one of those raids?
I think so. But we were planning on bringing them back in, but somebody higher up needed to look at them, and as soon as they were approved, we wanted to bring them in and see if somebody could look at it. So. We think that the shipment should, or not shipment, that the trinkets should arrive at probably dusk tomorrow. And then once they're checked and approved to be brought into the city, we figured we could bring them to you since you're the head of antiquities.
Yes, absolutely. I would love to take a look at them. I am often up into the wee hours of the evening, so please don't hesitate to let me know. I would
All right.
review the ledgers for my students and see who among them may be missing that from one of their recent expeditions. If
Perfect.
they had survived whatever their encounter had been.
I sure hope so. But yeah, like I said, tomorrow at dusk. So if everything goes by smoothly, we should be able to get to you pretty soon after. If not, probably the next day.
It's good to know, thank you. I appreciate you keeping me in the loop, but...
Of course. Can I do any sort of insight checks to just see what her reaction was to that news?
Yeah, go for it.
Perfect. Let's see. That's not too bad. Another 18 for a dirty 20.
Nice.
That just means that if we fight anything, it's like natural twos the entire time.
So
Yeah, you're burning them all now.
I know.
she doesn't seem terribly... She doesn't seem terribly impressed or interested.
Okay.
She when she saw you, you get the feeling she had hopes of other news, and
Sure.
And so what has been, I'll say, slightly disappointed or slightly, I guess, like confused or put out as to why this is what we have chosen to share, if that makes a bit of sense.
Absolutely.
But she takes the news relatively well. She does. She's there. Is there anything else that I could assist you with?
I believe that's it. Do you all have anything else? All right, then we will be in touch as soon as we can.
I look forward to it, but aside from the artifacts, if you have any news as to those who profaned my ledgers, they hold far more of my interest than your artifacts.
Well, hopefully we will have some more news on that soon.
You don't see any reason why the two shouldn't be connected.
I prefer to focus on the actionable sides. In my experience, molds and plasters of Lickdrocht, especially religious ones, hold very little in the way of value or power. Oftentimes it's their location that is of greater interest than
Well, their location, but also the person that has them.
She'll sort of look at you like you're like, what are you trying to say?
Religious trinkets are not useful when they're sitting on the ground, but I've watched a cleric or two make good use of religious trinkets.
No, to be sure, a fair number of clerics. However, comparing the religions of Lickdrocht to those of Rotum is not to be offensive, but the artifacts of Lickdrocht, their power does not lie in their religion. Thus making them rather boring when compared to things such as the arms of the fated, or
This is the first time we've heard her say that.
Mhm.
I'm making her.
or those titles, figures.
Well, perhaps someone is starting out small time and aims to work their way up to such things.
Perhaps.
You very often find with any kind of treasure seekers. Just as with any apprenticeship, you start on the small end of the pool, and then you get bigger. If you're worried about things that are that powerful, that are at all connected to any kind of religious iconography or location, then this should also be a threat. Trying to stop them before they find something that big.
If there's nothing else. And she'll
We will be in touch.
I look forward to it. And she'll gesture for you guys out the door. Let's change channels now. Over to Saride and Talroth. Is that your giddy up, Saride?
Hanging in the sewers, hanging in the sewers.
So a few hours earlier, you guys have navigated your way through the sewers. Talroth, are you guys just going back to where you were? Are you going to finish any mapping? Are you doing any exploration, or just going straight back? Just giving the option.
I'd kind of check with Saride first, be like, so if we're going to be down here for a little while, kind of want to get some work done. So you want to tag along, or you want to find a little spot to cozy up while I go get dirty?
I would much prefer to have company in case something untoward should happen. I don't do well by myself.
All right, so how about this? Let's go back to where we know all the artifacts and junk were. We'll kind of set up like a little bit of a spot there, and just kind of take a peek around, because I kind of want to build with this map a little bit. It's kind of concerning that the city doesn't have a real idea what's down here.
Yes. And how old it is. Like, you've noticed, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, damn near as I could figure this place was new. This place was already pretty old when my grandpapa was young, so...
Probably. Right, so she'll give him a pat and a little bit of inspiration while you're doing your stuff.
So it is a smooth trip back to where the artifacts were. You guys you have a choice. Well, you're coming from outside town. You'd probably want to go through the sewers from the outside rather than risk being seen on the regular streets of the town. Then in that case, do me a favor, make stealth checks for me.
I will try not to mess this up for you, but I make no promises, my dude. Seven.
30.
Okay. So,
Super dance.
So, Talroth, you guys are having to slow down to help Saride along, because you know that there may be more Otyugs down here, and the two of you facing off against an Otyug would be awful. Nobody wants to do that. So you guys are traveling exceptionally carefully. It's just going to tack time on to getting there, essentially. There are definitely some close calls in which you hear things bubbling under the water, and it's you have a cloak of elven kind, right? I'm going to say it does the you do the, what is it, the Sam and Frodo, where like you cover Saride and you look like a rock, right? And then Ojia goes away. You guys keep going. He's like, ha ha! Right. I always think
This
that's
feels
it.
very much like It feels like Buttercup and Wesley in the swamp of sorrow. He's just picking me
Rodents
up.
of unusual
places.
size. I don't think they exist.
OTM's in the sewers. He's just chill. I'm almost falling off of things.
Yeah.
In this stupid dress.
Well, if you knew we were going to be coming down here, maybe you should have thrown on a pair of pants instead. What? It's a valid suggestion.
She looks at. For those of you on a podcast, she looks at Tauroth incredulously and at length. You guys are making your way over there. So, one of you roll me a d4.
A what?
D4. D4, please.
You do it.
That's a 2.
Okay. So it takes you 2 hours to get to where you to get to the area that you want to be in. As you guys are walking up, you can hear a couple of guards that are talking. You are aware that Alvaro had put some people to watch over these things. And so as you're walking up, you can see them. Looks like there's about 4 people down here. The kind of guards that he's been using to enforce the quarantine and keep people blockaded and things like that. They have mostly chainmail, a couple of swords, axes, shields. Only one of them is wearing their helmet. It's the others they're kind of sitting around. Say what?
Oh, pandemic. Wear your mask.
You can take them. Yes, you absolutely can. They don't seem terribly formidable, but they're watching the place. When they hear you coming, well, they don't hear you coming, but when you make your way into the area, they sort of jump up and kind of try to act like they were doing their job. There are some cards on one of the crates. Looks like they've set up a table. They've kind of moved some stuff around, but they'll look at you. Oh, hey there. Everything all right, or what's going on?
Yes, everything's fine. We're going to be watching over the boxes for a day.
Oh, all right. Well,
For
I mean,
2 days? The appropriate amount of time?
okay. I mean, if you want to, I guess we've got we've got shifts scheduled and everything like that. So I hope you don't mind if we're gonna keep being here until Alvaro tells us to not be here. So
Right. Right. And she'll take Talroth aside and in Sylvan. Do you think that maybe you could message Alvaro in the book and tell him to call off the guards? We don't want any extra bodies if it's unnecessary.
Oh, I already got your beat. I sent him that message a couple hours ago.
Excellent. Then we, in theory, should just wait.
Well, yeah, a bit of waiting might not be so bad. I know I kind of want to explore a little bit, maybe just kind of. I don't want to get surprised by some kind of hidden passage and, oh no, that old orc with the bow's back. I don't like him much.
Right. No, but we are understanding that we're stealing that bow for Stitch, yes?
Well, I was gonna take it regardless. I mean, it's like kicking the shit out of that guy is gonna be a fun thing. The bow is a bonus.
Oh, absolutely. But I think Stitch would really like it. Yes. Excellent.
You know,
Then you do that, and I will distract the guards until they leave.
About that bow thing, if we put like a little string and like a little feathered ball thing at the tip of it, can we make them run around in a circle?
That's racist.
What I find works best is if you cast dancing lights, but you sort of focus it. Because if you combine all of the lights into one ball, it moves quite erratically. And he can't quite get a beat on where it's supposed to go. And then he just runs himself tired.
That sounds like a fun idea. I gotta keep that in mind.
That's for later, yes. Wait, Torov. I don't have much experience with elves outside of my kind. Do you have some sort of innate magic ability? I've never actually seen you do magic.
Well, I know at least the little bit of village I came from. It's more like a natural magic, kind of druidy, rangery kind of stuff. Like it's more in tune with nature. I don't really have much of a mind for it. I mean, growing up, yeah, I had little lessons here and there, but none of it really stuck too well. It's been a couple decades.
Sure. Huh. Interesting. Right. Well, I'm going to go see if I can get some guards out of here a little prematurely. See if that'll work.
So,
All right,
go ahead, please.
all right. I'm just gonna take a quick little look. See, I'll be back in maybe like 5 to 10.
That's about all I need, yes.
Okay. Talroth, as you stealth away, which way are you going? You've traveled the sewers behind you. I'm guessing you want to go through that exit that the orc took.
Yes, I want to kind of trace that one down a little bit. Kind of maybe see if I could figure out which way he might have gone, or.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take an investigation check and a survival check. And
you have inspiration.
You do have inspiration. As he's doing that, Saride, what are you up to?
I would like to figure out which of the guards looks like the captain.
Okay.
Or the leader, at least.
Yeah, you do recognize the leader. There's an older gentleman. Bald, looks like he shaves the sides and back of his head, but is naturally bald on top. The cowl of his chainmail is hanging about his neck there. He's sitting with the rest of them. Looks like they've got a little card game going. What would you like to do?
Oh, wonderful. Would you mind terribly if I played? I don't want to distract you or anything, but we've been walking for a while. I need to sort of loosen up my fingers.
Oh, that'd be awesome. We'd love to hear some music. Thank you.
Oh, wonderful. So I'm going to need him and maybe 3 of the other higher-ups to make a charisma save.
All right.
Excuse me, just a wisdom save.
All right, all 4 of
Just
them
wisdom.
making a wisdom save. Okay, so one of them nat 20'd. The next highest one is a 13.
Okay, then the other 3 are charmed.
Okay, so I'm gonna say the one guard that like still has his helmet on is not charmed. The guy that's like, yeah, he wants to. The guy that's like, I got to do my job, right? Is just a little too wound a little too tightly to pay attention to your music or be charmed by it.
Okay. So it's inclined to fight on my behalf. Could I try persuading him? Not necessarily at advantage, but could I just try again persuading him?
Yeah, I mean, so are they charmed by you? Do they have the charmed condition?
Yes, for an hour.
Okay, so if you have charmed them, then you do have advantage on ability checks to interact socially with them.
Okay, then I'd like to.
You want to persuade them to leave?
Yeah, sorry. I was like, all of a sudden I went to Cthulhu, and I was like, I don't know what art history check, art appraisal. Convince them to leave. Yeah.
Yeah, persuasion check, please.
Come on, baby Jesus. Oh, that'll do, pig. That's a 23.
23. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the ones that are charmed definitely think that that is a great idea. And the other one is kind of getting like peer pressured into it. Where they're like, what do you mean? She said she's got it. You don't trust the lady? It's like, no, I trust her. I just, it was we were told to like stand guard, and we haven't really done a lot of standing, and if somebody just comes in and we leave our stuff, it doesn't really feel like we're doing a lot of guarding either. It's like, no, you don't understand. She said she was going to take care of it. If you don't trust the lady, Jenkins, then I'm going to have words with your mother. And he's like, no, Jenkins, don't be an asshole. Yeah, Jenkins. Like, I don't, why, that's not even my name. I don't know why you guys are calling. New guys always named Jenkins. Oh, we've been over this. That's, oh, man, like, he's just having a hard time.
Oh, Jenkins.
Yeah, Jenkins. So yeah, it looks like in a few minutes they'll sort of pack up and head out of here. Telroth, what were your checks?
Well, just double checking. The inspiration is a D8, yes?
It is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. D8, yes.
Okay, so I rolled pretty well. The investigation was a nat 20 for a 26.
Okay.
And the survival was normally a 24, but throwing on the inspiration, 32.
Okay.
Live forever.
So
A weirdly good pairing to go off on this quest. Well done, y'all.
So investigation-wise, Talroth, you find, what's the total of your investigation? Natural 20 for a...
Total is a 26.
26. Nice. Okay. Between that and your survival, I will go ahead and tell you, there is, lining the walls and the floor of the area in which they have these artifacts secured, what seems like a blasting jelly. It reminds you in smell, which you were too busy last time to really pay attention to, and the hour of the day is different. That you think may also make a difference. But there's definitely a caustic smell here that it reminds you of something Otto Weirdbottle would mix up and like coat the place in, and it seems to be everywhere, and it is not dangerous right now, but with the appropriate chemical applied to it, you suspect it is designed to burn everything in the room in order to get rid of the evidence. Now, you do trace the Ziraj for a fair distance. It's very difficult to track the day-old-ish tracks, especially through an area that sees a lot of water and things like that. Like you're just catching little bits and pieces. You do suspect that he exited the city not into Dorian's Dawn, but out into the wilds. That's about as far as you get.
Cool. And the blasting jelly, it's all over the tunnels, or it was all over the boxes and that area?
Specifically, it is in the cistern. Okay, it's not coated in the boxes. It seems to be on the boxes from where they've been like moved around and stuff like that. But you also suspect it's on some of you, like anybody that's been in there. It's probably at least on your shoes.
Fuck.
But you don't know how long it takes. But like, there's a. It seems that the moisture in here, it keeps it. Rather than diluting it, keeps it active. You actually think it was probably well, you're not an alchemist. But if you want to make an alchemy check, because you have rolled so well, I will let you. Intelligence-based alchemy.
Okay. That's a 3.
So you don't know why it's still around. You don't know really how it works, but you know at the very least, Otto's coated this place in something, and it smells like it will burn.
Damn.
Can I get like if there's like a small stick or something, like even a twig or just maybe like a broken piece of a box, and just kind of scrapes some of that jelly off and just throw it into the water just to see what happens?
Nothing happens.
All right. Hey, Saride, I got some good news and some bad news.
Oh? What's the good news?
Well, the good news is this shit won't blow up with water.
Good?
Yeah, now the bad news is all that shit, that jelly, it'll blow up.
Mm. That's
Yeah.
new, right? God?
Well,
As far as you know,
God?
it's been there since the first time.
This whole time?
Yeah.
Oh. Well,
Saride, if you want to make an insight check, or Talroth, you can make one as well.
sure. Why not?
Or just cipher code check, I guess.
10.
that was 10.
You guys aren't sure.
Yay. Okay, that's Oh God, no. Fable.
Yeah, probably good thing she didn't come down here. Because,
But she's going to be down here. They're coming to meet us down here.
I have an idea. Roll with me on this one.
Okay.
So we'll get like another little stick. So I'll break off like another piece of the chest. Get a little more of that stuff. Right before they come down, I'll just run up to her. Be like, here, touch this, see what happens. And if it sets off, we know to keep her out of here.
What? If it blows up in her face, we'll know to keep her remains out of the cistern?
This is the if the witch sinks, she wasn't a witch argument. And you know what? It worked for a long time. I say we just fucking run with it.
Did it? Did it though?
To wait like 100 years for the Arthur Miller of Lickdrach, right? The cistern, this version of the Crucible.
Well, now look, here's the thing. All I'm saying is we just take like maybe a drop of it, like a tiny little drop. Not enough where it shouldn't do much damage to her if it does anything at all.
Broke Matthew. Oh my god.
All right, here.
I am Fable and I approve this message.
That's even more reason not to do it. All right, she's going to take the stick with the glue on it, with the nonsense. Is there another? Okay, she'll get a stick, get some of the nonsense.
Yeah.
She will go up a hallway that doesn't have nonsense on it,
Okay. Understood.
and she will light it on fire with her tinderbox.
It doesn't seem to strike.
Is it because it's too wet? Or like the tinder won't strike?
Make an alchemy check.
Or
Make an intelligence check.
is it the tinder won't strike or the glue won't strike? Goo, whatever, I keep saying glue.
None of it.
Oh no. That's a intelligence? It's a 19.
A 19? Oh.
Yeah, I like that nothing's striking. That was the oh no.
Yeah. So nothing is striking. The wood is probably too wet to. You could make it burn if with like some magic or something, but as far as like just striking a campfire with it, it's too damp. And what you put together is that the reason he's used an alchemical formula like this is because it does not. You can't accidentally set it on fire.
Okay.
But at the same time, it will burn even if it's wet once the proper reagent is applied to it.
Okay, and because we've seen him before, we can assume he has the reagent, so it's not just fire next to it, it's specific
Correct.
fire?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Okay, so this isn't going to burn until Otto gets here.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Greek fire.
Yeah, like Greek fire, something like that. Yeah, it is Otto, or you suspect someone on his team could light the place up.
Okay,
And
so
now that you think about it, you think that's probably why they were trying to run, so that they could, having heard about Branos, who is the god of fire, so that they could set you all ablaze.
dope. Right. So, I don't think this goes without saying, but if Otto should show up again down here, we need to make sure he goes down fast.
It is 9:40. Let's all take a quick break.
Sorry, it seemed like everyone needed bathroom breaks during the middle of that there.
No, and that was fine. You guys were out of the scene, but we're about to regather up. So here's what let's do. It's 9:40. Let's take a 10-minute break. We're going to be back at 9:50. The show will continue from there. Thank you guys, but until we're back, stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody. We are Random Encounter Productions. I'm Cody Stone. With me tonight we have...
Matthew, and I'm playing Clever Stitch, the Arcane Archer.
Caitlin, and I'm playing Fable Frost, the Ice Genasi Phoenix Soul Sorcerer.
Oh, I'm playing Olaroon, the ASMR Paladin Hexblade Warlock.
Hey, I'm Megan, and I'm playing Sarai Landir, the Elidrin Glamour Bard.
Howdy, y'all. This is Mars. I'll be playing Talroth Oakenblade, Wood Elf Scout.
All right. So
Also, just really quick may I really fast answer some questions that we had in the chat? Really fast. So there will not necessarily be a resolve today. All of our sessions are a continuation of the previous session, more or less. We have a pretty limited cast with only a couple of other players that you don't see here tonight. So if we end on anything, there's the podcast version, which you can find on our website, or I'll drop it in the chat in a minute. Or if you're a subscriber here, you can watch the video on demand after we are done. Or if you don't want to subscribe and you want to go over to our YouTube, we not only have all of our old episodes, but we will have this episode up on Friday. Our patrons will be getting that early, starting on Wednesday. This week on Thursday, because we pushed back a day. And for Twitch legal reasons, we have to wait 24 hours before we put it up somewhere else. So that'll all be up there. There are always ways to find the story and to catch up on what's happening. There are many, many hours worth of amazing content from this channel to check out on our YouTube or check out on our website or Discord or any of those places. And we're happy to have you. So there you go. That is it.
Yep. This is our most
Because
traditional...
we have some new friends today, so...
Yeah, welcome. Welcome, everybody. This is our most traditional high fantasy campaign. Usually it's on Monday nights. So please, if you enjoy it, check it out. Support us. And we are starting some other projects and things soon, but we also have a Wild Mount game on Thursday nights. We do Dragon Age on Fridays. We do a bunch of different stuff. Next week on Tuesday night, Cole's going to be running Storm King's Thunder with special guest Dio Madden, who was on the WWE D&D game and is a WWE NXT superstar. So
Yep,
that'll be
that
next
was a very
week.
poorly timed chew, but yes.
I was about to throw it to you, and then I saw the cereal or whatever it is go in the mouth, and I was like, well, I'll just spiel real quick.
We do that for you all the time now. Anytime we're
It's
like,
true.
he's looking off at the computer, let's talk ridiculous bullshit nonsense, fam.
You guys do
and
a
that's
great
why
job.
the viewers really come back.
Yes.
It's for that. It's not. That's why.
It's for the mid game musical
Nonsense.
analysis. That's really what it's for.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, you guys have, we can move forward a couple of hours as you guys are regrouping. Talroth and Saride have very deftly, I really did not expect you to find that that little trap trigger in there, but the sadistic alchemist known as Otto Weirdbottle has coded what was formerly their adventuring group's like hideout in an explosive sort of jelly. Talroth found that. Sarai did a little quick test on it. The message has been delivered to Professor Harold Volton and Rosetta Fike, two different colleges. And you guys are regrouping now with those trinkets. And you have sent word to Alvaro as to sort of what your plan is. You know that those ledgers deliver at dawn and at dusk. So he's probably just now getting the message as we get toward dusk. So what would you guys like to do? Are you guys just keeping him? Sorry, go ahead, please.
Oh, I was gonna say, while we're waiting, or while Sarai and I are waiting for everyone else, I was gonna kind of take another pass and look through all those crates and boxes just to kind of see what else might be in there that we might have missed the first time around.
Sure. You guys take the time. You start opening boxes. You can make investigation checks for me if you would like.
That's a total 21.
12.
Okay. Give me just a moment but I'll come back to that, Talroth. It is mostly old, as we say, trinkets and things like that, but I will give you some more information on stuff in just a moment. I have to dig some things up. But in the meantime, the rest of the group has arrived. Are you guys purely just like waiting, keeping an eye out? Are you doing anything else in the meantime? Are you sharing any information? What's your plan here?
Are you wrapping Fable in a straitjacket just in case?
Yeah.
And obviously telling them how all of that went, reminding them about our agreement with Professor Fike about the bodies.
I was about to say exactly that. She's keenly aware of. She may be forgetting some things, but she's not forgetting that. And if she doesn't end up being the leak behind all of this, I'd feel it best to acquiesce to her request.
There might be a small issue with the bodies of at least Starsong and the ugly half-orc, the axe lady half-orc.
Did they blow up?
I think we might have fed them to the Otiug thing that's down here.
You did.
You kicked them
If we
into the water. You did not see
Listen.
Enotia eat it, but you did kick it into the water.
If we could find a skull, she might be fine with that. Yes, some necromantic things you don't need an entire body for, so we'll bring her what we can.
Can I go look for those bodies?
I'll come with you.
Really need to?
Yeah, I'll come help out.
Because Professor Fike expects us to bring her the bodies of those who have betrayed her and her students, and
Right.
messed with their things.
I don't
Is she
hate
the
it.
one that? Is she paying us though?
Well,
She
the way
let us. Here's the thing. She let us get more information than she's ever let mostly anyone get. This is payment for She paid us in advance by letting us see her ledgers instead of making us break into them in the dead of night. So I'll take it.
She paid us by finally acquiescing to the dean of the college's request to give us the key in the first place.
I'm
Alvaro is the
also,
one who pays us.
I'm also a little. I would rather get on her good side since she's a necromancer.
Yeah, and since even Alvaro and them seem scared and uncomfortable around her, that's not someone I want to piss off. Alvaro
Alvaro's
has
not
problems. Yeah, Alvaro has problems with her, but he asked us to play nice, and this is part of why I would rather play nice. I don't like making him uncomfortable at all.
I don't think this counts as playing nice though. We can still give her whatever bodies we may drum up this evening, but why do we have to go out of our way to find extras?
And we're killing time down here right now. We're not doing anything else.
Yeah, while this conversation's happening, I'm gonna go sneak off and try to find where I dumped the bodies.
Sure.
If it was out of our way, I wouldn't, but since we're here already, it's like, why not stop and get a soda at the gas station when we're already here? Like, you might as well.
Yeah, but this is more like getting a bouquet of bones than a soda.
Well, yes, but that's not as pretty.
Well, it depends on what kind of magic you study. I mean, necromancer, bouquet of bones. I mean, if you put the fingers just right, kind of pose them and kind of lock them the right way.
And I thought you were charming. High five. Perpetually high five.
Any of this conversation.
So who is searching for bodies? Okay. Clever Stitch, were you helping?
I mean, eventually, yes.
Okay.
but he was sneaking off to do it.
Okay. Well,
So-
if he's sneaking, then no one can ever know
Yeah.
where he is. So make an investigation check.
That is a 17.
Okay. As you are searching the depths of the river area, cistern water, you find no remains of either of them.
Well,
Shit.
Well,
I mean, it's like
Did-
I'm sure.
I know when
but
I know when we had finished up, we did loot the bodies a bit
You did.
because I know I kept Star Song's clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Would there be any? Do we keep anything from the other lady?
You kept, I believe, her great axe, or no, her great sword and her plate mail, just to sell, I believe. You kept those
Yeah.
things.
Or to see if Bozen wanted the plate, because he's
Right.
the only other one that can wear it.
Right.
But that would be a shirt, so I'm pretty sure he's going to say no.
he does
we
have,
all want him to say no. It's fine.
does have a thing against against shirts.
Shirt.
He's Grey Fullbuster, but with fire. He's just, why are you always naked? Ah, I'm sorry.
That is true. Anything? So you did have that. Was there something else you wanted to do, Talroth?
Are there any remains at all down there, like any bones or anything? Doesn't matter who at this point.
Yes, there are. There are bones down there.
I'll pick up whatever I can that's in decent enough shape.
Okay, sure. You gather up some remains. Yeah, okay. Two bodies worth, roughly. Okay.
All right.
You are fishing
Yeah,
these out of the water for like an hour. To be fair.
Can we just like get a gold pan, like where you just sift in the water, but for people? We're panning for people.
Awful.
Nope. Did I break? Okay, I'm just gonna see myself out.
Can I
Not.
pull Saride off to the side while all this is going on?
Mm-hmm.
There's no side. We didn't go with those fools.
Yeah, no, we told 100%
We will
did
think
not.
of them later.
And I'm just like, Miss Saride, this is. I don't like this.
I know. I'll be honest, I'm not 100% on board myself, but we're also not going to stop them, are we?
Everything in me tells me to stop them, but I also know that I wasn't there when they made the deal.
I know. So, just try not to think about it, I suppose. It's just one of those compromises you have to make sometimes. I know it's uncomfortable for you. I do. And I'm very sorry that we put you in this position, specifically. But
Well, sometimes you gotta do stuff you don't want to.
I know. But in the meantime, I need you to focus. All right? Because the things that are probably coming for us are nasty.
Yeah, hopefully what happens last time doesn't happen this time.
It won't. I promise you.
Yeah.
I'll look after you, okay?
It's supposed to be the other way around.
Oh, stop that. I don't care how tall you get, you're always going to be that little boy to me. And I'll always take care of you. And she'll ruffle his hair.
Just like
She has to reach up to do it. Yeah. Raspberry. No, I'm kidding.
So,
that's pretty much it.
Talroth, at some point when you're checking the boxes, as you guys are looking through things, one of the older Lickdrakian relics is there, and it is there is sort of an etching in the bottom of it. It is in primordial. It looks like it's some sort of stone icon for a fire giant, perhaps, or something along those lines. It does have a little bit of etching on it. It says, "In the night of miracles, the black cleric shall end the age of faith."
How big is this relic?
2 feet. Looks like something that probably sat on a pedestal.
You can't pocket it.
He can certainly try.
I'm gonna carefully take it out of there. Just making sure that if I need to put it back, I can put it back exactly as it was.
Sure.
I figure by now I would know that Fable might speak Primordial or close to it, so I'd kind of bring it over to her.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you mind doing some translating on this?
Oh, I can just read it. I do speak Primordial, so I'm hoping that I can just...
Yeah.
Read it.
You do. You do.
Cody, what was the last word on that? The Black Cleric will end the...
Can I read it?
Mm-hmm. The Age of Faith, I believe is what I said.
Hey, thank you. We couldn't hear.
Yeah. Yeah, and the statue does seem to be of, looks like a religious human man, probably. Maybe a giant. Doesn't seem terribly distinct. It's carved out of like limestone, I think. So it's kind of smooth, it's smooth like a jade would be, whatever rock that is. My DM knowledge is not all encompassing, unfortunately.
Naturally smooth, or like not as opposed to carved smooth, because
It got carved smooth.
that's a
and
different,
It's been
like,
kind of polished
you.
and
Good.
worn. So it's old. As you guys are hanging out, do you guys have any other plans of things you would like to do while potentially awaiting the arrival of someone?
Can I just do some not trap setting, but some basic like alert systems?
Sure. What would you like to do?
Can I do down like in the main hallways close to us?
Mm-hmm.
I would like to put a small
Like a tripwire?
yeah, kind of like a tripwire with like some rocks piled up next to one end, so that if somebody were to push it and trip it, that it would just get some rocks to like.
So a non-lethal
Trouble.
tripwire.
Yeah, and
like,
I don't want it to
A
be like
noise.
bells and alarms that are like, you've been caught.
Yeah, like, are you talking about like making it seem like maybe it was a natural rock
Yeah, no,
noise, so they don't know we're trapping
absolutely,
the
yeah.
area? Noise.
Yeah, but if it's quiet-ish, and then in an hour and a half we just hear like some rocks like some pebbles tumble, then we're like, oh, we know that came from there, and that might be the tripwire.
Cool. Make a survival check.
May I help at all?
If you're trained in survival, you may.
Never mind. I will not help. I'll just watch and cheer you on.
I'm trained in survival, so
You may
I can
assist.
assist.
Yes.
Because I asked that like I was trained in survival. I'm not.
Horny.
Oh, that's so good though. A natural 17 for a 16.
Hey.
What a...
Oh, me and my +8.
Should have thought of it.
Hey, I was letting you take lead on this one.
So yeah, you do set some minor rock tumble noise alarms. Yeah, absolutely. Anything else you guys would like to do?
Probably set similar trap down the tunnel that's behind us,
Okay.
with that door where the other guy ran down. That's coated in blast and jelly.
Okay, sounds good. You can. I was gonna assume he set one in all potential entrances or exits. Everywhere.
I'm just gonna listen.
Nobody move.
I'm just gonna listen for like the trap.
Mhm.
And essentially, like if it goes off, I'm doing the whole. I'm probably gonna just pop Radiant Soul again.
Okay.
I was about to say, just so we're clear, just so Fable's clear, we're not trying to reason with these people. We're just gonna fight when someone shows up.
Well,
Correct?
let's wait and see who shows up first.
I feel-
Yeah, it's a good idea to see what the hell we're going against, because if we're going against it's like the tiny little one, we might want to be careful about what backup she might be bringing up. If it's the creepy cat guy, well, okay, we might want to kick him in the balls a few times
No,
to kind of knock him down a peg.
no matter what they could or could not bring, taking especially her out fast before she can raise things is still a good idea.
Do you really think that the professors would be down here themselves?
Oh no, probably
going to
not. I was just
send
saying,
them-
if that was his argument, was well, it's her.
Likely, I would assume it would be Otto and the rest.
Probably.
Same, probably.
But
Also,
we should
Yep.
wait until we get eyes on them.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. If Creepy McNomi there shows up, he dies first. Like, I will ignore everyone else until I purposely kick his balls through his lungs. He does not get into this room.
What did this guy
A
do?
visual.
He,
Juicy.
Hey,
he
Olaru,
apparently
story time.
turned-
Let's have a seat, have a drink.
Cole knows this. Olarun doesn't. We'll, for the sake of brevity, we'll say you've told him, and he's sufficiently skeeved out by this whole person. And he's
I
like,
will
"Oh
ham-
no,
I'm
he's
going to
going to have
ham
to
up.
die."
I'm going to ham up the details about people melting because of the acid.
You know that scene in Raiders of the Lost Ark when they take the thing off, and then they all start. It was that, but it was a bunch of people. And they ran into the water, and they started melting faster.
He just summons his golden sword, and he's like, "Oh, okay, I see how this is gonna go. Let me just limber up real quick."
It's important to stretch before rigorous activity. So, if I am correct, this was on the 19th. You guys told everybody that things were moving on the 21st. Is that correct?
We told them that they would show up on the 20th, hoping that they're like, oh, well, we can still get the shipment out if we steal it from
Okay.
them.
I wanted to make sure. I thought you said 2 days, and I was confused, but whatever you intended for the 20th. Perfect.
Yes.
We will operate under that assumption. You guys take it. It gets into the evening. Do you all stay up, or do you try to take shifts, let people rest? How do you want to go through the night?
Yeah.
Take
Let's-
shifts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially for tonight, since the earliest theoretically they'll show up is tomorrow at dawn.
Okay.
Right.
So,
Okay.
who is first, second, third, and fourth?
Last watch because I have to put my armor on.
Okay.
I'll take first watch.
Okay.
I can help with 2 because I only need the 4 hours.
Okay.
I'll
I'll take third.
perfect, and I'll take second.
Okay. So, which two are you helping with, Saride?
Who's not too great at looking at stuff?
My perception's not great.
I don't have dark vision.
I have
Maybe
one.
helping Fable.
Yeah, so maybe her and then me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Helping you two.
All right. So you guys know who has the
Well-
assistants? Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, kind of forgot that I can only need the 4 hours also, so I can double up with somebody.
Oh, me.
So you help
yeah,
Oren.
double up with Cole.
Yeah, I'll help Olaroon.
Sounds good. So, roll perception checks. Those of you that are, if you have assistants, you have advantage. You can give me that or your passive perception. You guys are actively looking, so your passive is going to be a floor for this skill
Thank
check.
you for advantage, by the way.
thank you.
Percept. 19.
I had a 1 and a 2, so
Damn it,
4.
Matthew.
What's your passive?
12.
Okay. Oh,
I rolled a 15.
okay. Now, Roth.
Total 20.
Roll 20. Okay. Talroth, you're on third watch, I believe?
Third watch, and then helping Olarun with fourth.
Olarun on fourth. Okay. Those of you on fourth watch, you guys started your watches early, anticipating that the pre-dawn hours to be the most dangerous. But it's actually, although none of you are 100% certain of the time, it's actually closer to the middle of the evening, around 3 a.m. is probably when Olarun is taking over. And it is early into the fourth watch when you guys hear, you don't hear anything, nothing that disturbs the stones or lets sort of that rock slide sort of sound happen. But there is pardon me, I have to double check something real quick. There is sort of a smell that creeps over the area. It is a smell of fresh cut flowers and fertilizer. It's easy to pick out because down here things either smell awful or not at all. And do remember, it's not purely a sewer, it's also just like a waterway system. You guys are not in the middle of sewage, but you also haven't smelled anything bright or fresh or not terrible in hours. I mean, better portion of a day. So Olarun and Talroth, you guys do start to smell that. You do start to smell that. And then, as you guys are keeping a look out and around, do you have a fire lit?
I have dark vision, so I probably wouldn't.
Okay.
Olarun?
I also have dark vision.
So you guys don't? Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. What would you guys like to do?
Honestly, as soon as I'd turn to him, I'd be like, yeah, so but you smell that?
Yeah, that. We should probably start waking people up. I mean, I'll
Yeah.
take a quick look and see what's going on.
Yeah, I'll be. You start looking for people. You start looking. I'll wake him up, and then as he's going out, I'll go and be like, Stitch, Fable, Mr. Ride, get up.
Yeah, and I'll just kick my hood on and just
I
start
slap
making
Stitch across the face a couple times.
On his tail.
Sorry.
Yeah, you'll be awake now.
Clever Stitch, are you attempting to put your armor on? Oh, you wear light armor,
I do wear light armor.
so you could sleep in it.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm gonna kick the hood on and start making my way down the tunnel where that smell was coming from.
Seems to be coming from the main tunnel, not from that secret exit tunnel. Go ahead and give me the stealth check as you are making your way over there.
Secret tunnel.
Thank you.
27.
Yeah, you are very quiet, very hidden. And as you crest the corner, this would be the corner where those glyphs of warding were the day before. Just so we're kind of all talking in the same area. You turn to look down the corner, and you do see a floating figure with trails of black sweeping behind her. She has in her hand a scroll spread out. And she does not see you yet.
Polly Pocket Morticia, no! You were the chosen one!
If she's showing up at dawn, they're working together.
Well, it's pre-dawn, really. It's like
Yeah.
4 a.m., right? Yeah, this is not the time that we told her to be here. Yeah, 3-ish.
Yeah, 3 a.m.
This is super early. That's weird.
You guys
We're
also
working
never
together.
told anyone where to be.
Yeah, we never
Well,
told them where we were going to be. We just said the time.
Well, that's. I mean,
Did we not
I
tell
said,
them?
I said the words here because I wanted to make I wanted to, as a player, be like unsure because I didn't know.
The fact that they-
but thought that it was insinuated. in
So
the conversation.
from my understanding, and you can correct me if this was not your intention, because I want you to put forth the information you wanted to. You told people when things would be arriving, basically at the college, and gave them specific times to in kayfabe, right? The story you are telling these characters is we will talk to you after dusk because it will have arrived here. You never said where it was arriving from or where it was being kept. And I thought that that was an intentional thing because those who would know where to look.
Those who would know what to where
Well,
exactly.
actually, that's true. I guess.
So that was, I thought that was your intent.
You made us smarter than we were, and we'll take it.
Okay, well, I gave you
I'll
guys the
take
benefit
it.
of the doubt on that one.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
The one time that's ever worked in our advantage.
Yes, actually. Well, you didn't tell me you were whispering or sneaking. Fuck it, I'm always whispering and sneaking.
Yeah,
So thank you. Unless this hurts us.
In which case,
So
I
Talroth,
missed you all so much. Oh my god.
currently Talroth is the only one that that sees her. Everybody else is getting ready. Talroth, what would you like to do?
About how far down the tunnel is she?
I'm gonna say she is 40 feet from the corner and drifting. She doesn't seem to be moving very fast, but she's headed that way. Her head also seems to be down.
And you said there was a scroll in front of her?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's got it in her hands.
Can I move back to pretty much the open area where everybody is?
Yeah.
And just kind of signal them to just kind of be quiet and just kind of spread out?
Mm-hmm. Sure. I'll take stealth checks from everybody else. Talroth will just keep your previous one.
Can we say that whilst he was doing that, I had time to mage armor?
Yeah, absolutely. Major armor's just an action.
Hard save.
Yeah.
Yep.
Stealthing?
Please.
23.
8.
Fuck you. What's up, Ulrun?
Well,
There it is.
so as Fable, Olaroon, and Saride start to move, one of them's like kicking their bag. Somebody runs into one of the boxes. They are making noise. They are doing their best to make quiet noise, but in the dead of night, in which there is only the sounds. And oh man, I should have put the cistern on earlier. Cistern.
The song called Cistern while we're in the cistern.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh.
The ambient noise of
I
cistern.
like it.
Yeah.
Ambient noise.
Yeah, ambient noise. You guys you do make some noise. None of you are at the corner to keep an eye on Rosetta, but you do. You guys sort of spread out.